We've realised that the only real way to close the gap is through economic participation for our people. Aboriginal business employ Aboriginal people, and we really have to grow Aboriginal businesses. So we're looking at every opportunity where there's a resource, where there's an industry that we can take advantage of and help support people into growing their own business. And in doing that, we realised that there was a huge growing demand in the world for honey and boutique honey, and there's quite a niche market. So we did some research and discovered that these 3 valleys have got hundreds and hundreds of acres of native flora that has the potential to produce some absolutely beautiful varieties of honeys. As we know, a lot of the mob have been robbing native hives for a long time to get a nice feed of honey. I think it's just the next step is that yes, there is commercial viability in creating a honey business and getting that interest in the bees. A lot of people have said, oh no, people aren't going to be interested in growing honey, you know, there's a big market out there, it's really cutthroat.
Young queen always see how the child is real pearly white.
It's all about getting the right formula together to market the honey, which I feel that we're really well on track to make it fairly unique in what we're doing. And the motivation is to put money back into the pockets of these communities.
So it's actually looking at a traditional hunting practices, traditional cultural practices in the knowledge of Aboriginal people about their own country, and then utilising that in a very modern business approach.
That's right, and we'll take care of a lot of the detail, so that modernised business approach is what we'll start to teach people that come forward that are interested. The growing of the bees is not too complex. We're going to take trainers out to the communities and give people units of competency from Certificate 2 in beekeeping, and give them the practical knowledge that can come from the mainstream side of training.
The veil, this is the new style. This is the new style jacket.
We're putting together a extraction unit that's a mobile extraction unit, so people, if they don't want to extract the honey on site, and have their own extraction sheds, we can do that from a mobile unit. We can do that quite well. And we also control the quality of our honey and where the honey is coming from through declarations of our growers.
So how large is the business now?
Well, you're surrounded by about 20 tonnes of honey at the moment from the Macleay Valley, from Dunghutti country. And we've had a couple of trips to China. We've got a number of potential Chinese buyers that have been that are interested. We've worked with the New South Wales Business Chamber to look at cultural competency from the Chinese perspective and our do's and don'ts when we're marketing our honey and when we're talking to potential buyers. So we've learned a lot in the last couple of years since the inception of the idea in 2015, and we have a bottling unit, a small bottling unit set up with the potential to grow that bigger as the demand gets bigger.
You have a new medicinal product. Could you tell us about that and its development?
We were lucky enough to meet with a Chinese export consultant who mentioned some of the health conditions in China, and especially with the little children because of the pollution. We're very conscious that our honey comes from a very clean and pristine environment, and that the honey is highly bioactive and that it has high medicinal uses or potential uses. And while we were talking, we came up with the concept of using honey to treat sore throats, and the sore throats of people who are living in China, breathing the polluted air, feeling uncomfortable. So we decided to incorporate lemon myrtle into our honey and create a medicinal honey. So we use our highly bioactive leptospermine honey, which comes from the tea trees that grow down on the coast.
And of course, you have a unique product as well, because You think about it, that you're not only just a business person and you're having a honey business, but you're also an indigenous business, and how important is that for your product and the way you operate it and market it?
I think it's incredibly important when we're dealing with countries that also have long histories and countries that may have similar histories, and if we can talk at the same level when we're marketing, and if we can market some of those some of the knowledge of our ancestors, and that the people that we're marketing to can see those parallels, then I think that we create a relationship with our resellers, we create a relationship with our market that is quite unique, and that we may be able to break into some areas that possibly mainstream would have more trouble.